Hey everyone, this is Josh here, and today we're going to talk about this video process I did of Ariel. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll realize that this is about the third time I've drawn Ariel now, and it's not my intention, but for some reason, every time I feel like really creative and I want to just take a character that I feel inspired from, I always pick Ariel for some reason. I don't know. I think it's when I draw bare shoulders, it just automatically starts feeling like it should be Ariel. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. You'll notice already that this completely doesn't look anything like the finished product, and that's because the goal with this was to kind of assess myself on my ability to sketch symmetric faces and to get a feel for it. Uh, it's pretty challenging for me to do that, to draw eyes in the same, the correct place, the same size, drawing the other eye, yada yada yada. But this was kind of a test for me to see, kind of get a feel for that. And since it was a test, I really didn't like how things turned out. So you'll notice in a few seconds here, I kind of erase everything and I start getting really creative. I looked for a reference of a girl looking up because I was like, well, if I've already got a good face down and she's head on, I can still get a girl looking up and it will still match. And so I kind of found something loose for that, but a lot of this was just kind of me trying to figure out what would look cool. And then at some point I'm like, well, the perfect hair for this would be long flowy hair. And then I was like, well, this is going to be a portrait of Ariel then. There's no other way around it. But I wanted to change it up. I wanted to get creative. I was really surprised with how well this turned out, to be honest. The anatomy was way better than I was expecting it to be. And the hair as well. I was not expecting too much with the hair, but I think it turned out okay. It's not, I want to always try to find flow and continue things properly and never be lazy and get really crazy with the hair and unrealistic. With the coloring that you see starting now, I just wanted to go ahead and get some basic flats in. That's at that moment is when I really decided that was going to be Ariel. But then I kind of got rid of them and I thought about how my strategy for the overall coloring process would be. And so my strategy was that I wanted to have a minimalistic kind of ink layer and then use the colors to fill in the rest of the information. So you can see me going in there with the eyes. That's me there. Just for some reason, sometimes I just draw something else and have some fun with it, but I erased it. And yeah, I'm just trying to get in some minimal lines that I want to kind of guide me in the coloring process, because I didn't want to go all in with the rendering and, make it like a painting with everything being 3D. I wanted it to be kind of representational. But at the end, you'll see it's kind of halfway. So I'm just doing this kind of inking layer sketch thing where I'm going over the lines, looking for lines that I find important. Later on, I realized that I didn't need as many lines in the hair for what I wanted to do. And here you see me coming back to edit the flat that I did so that it matched the line work instead of the sketch layer. Unfortunately, I felt like the sketch layer was just so much better than the ending line work that I kept it in there, and I kind of worked with them both in. And now you see me, I'm starting to add in shadows. Looking back, I really wish I approached this a different way. Having a white background with this makes it really hard to keep your values straight. And I was using a lot of gradients already from the get-go, which is really not something I should have been doing. I should have been using a lot of opaque, flat color regions that I blend into other things. My overall strategy as well with rendering is trying to use one shade to put as much information as I can, and then starting to add the highlights, and then going in to add kind of subsurface scattering, some reds, add some color variety into the skin. You can see there, it just has this much more natural feel when I get rid of the red hair. And then I feel like it would have been even more impactful if I had a non-white background, and it would have helped me inform me make better decisions for the coloring process. At this point, you can see I kind of decided that I was going to have half her face in shadow, which is something I've done before earlier with a portrait I did of Mia Matanagi. I think that's her name. She's a singer rapper. And yeah, I'm just here you can see me kind of regretting that previous decision I made. I added a lot more shadow, and I kind of wanted to really round the face out more. I have a tendency to make things really overly flat, which you can see, which is again because of the white background. So I'm trying to fix that. And I think I'm getting into the eyes a little bit, not yet, but my goal with the eyes was to have these really alluring anime eyes. I did that a few days ago with my portrait of Boo Zet, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed like attacking eyes because they're like the hardest thing for me to get right, believe it or not, because they're supposed to be something that has, you know, some of the most focus, but a lot of times I just didn't put in that much effort because I liked doing other parts better, like the nose or the mouth. But I'm really proud of what I did. I pulled up some references, obviously, for this to kind of get an idea for them, and I'll try to zoom in at the end to really show off what I've done. Here you see I'm experimenting with the hair. I really didn't know what I was doing with this. I kind of liked how it is now, but I went too far and I just messed it up because I didn't want to go all the way and render it like, I don't know, properly or 3D-ish, but then I started doing these weird things where every strand looked like a thick piece of licorice or something, and I didn't like that. So I liked the kind of faded graphical look, but I wanted to add a little bit more. Also, I forgot to mention that a lot of these times I will color the line work in for the skin and the hair to kind of have it fade out in the background, because I don't want it to be overpowering. I want it to feel like it's a pure painting without any line work. But of course, you know how I like lines in my kind of vector background. I love keeping those things in to add a lot more pop and depth. And here you can see I'm making a little bit more final touches that aren't present in the Instagram version. I made these touches based on just looking back at the sketch and seeing some things that I wanted to keep and brought them back in. And now here's the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys liked the process. And so, yeah, I will see you guys next week with another video. Feel free to leave a comment here on what you thought, and I will see you next time.